talk radio hosts have to make a decision every day. How much time do we spend on a media contrived, exaggerated scandal? How much time do we spend on it? And the argument could be made, don't spend precious airtime debunking this Bob Woodward book and these taped recordings that the president agreed to. Don't get wrapped up in that and spend a lot of time on that, Mike, because there's other. No, let me tell you why we do it. The media is reporting on this 24/7. Everybody from CNN to Fox News, ABC, and it's all you get anywhere right now is this Bob Woodward book. Now, this could be broken down in about 30 seconds, and I will, because this is about the dumbest bombshell fake controversy I've seen since Trump's been president. The president told Bob Woodward in on-the-record recorded interviews that he didn't want to panic the American people over coronavirus. Now Joe Biden is saying that is a game-ending, career-stopping lie to the American people, not to panic people about coronavirus. Play it down. Don't panic. Don't get hysterical. Joe Biden is now accusing the president of a betrayal for not wanting to panic the American people. Well, how does Joe Biden explain this?
It's not a time to panic about coronavirus, but coronavirus is a serious public health challenge.
You know when Joe Biden said it's not a time to panic? February 28th. Now, these facts don't matter to people who hate Donald Trump. It doesn't even matter to them that the president was saying publicly what he was saying to Bob Woodward. And the reason I feel a need to tell you about it on the radio is that I know there are people driving around. In our business, we have something called churn. There are people who go up and down the dial. They like what they hear. They don't like what they hear. They find something that, and there are people who've watched ABC last night and they think, oh my gosh, the president knew all along that this was a terrible, deadly virus and he didn't tell people because he wanted people to die. Except that would not square with what the president said, oh, I don't know, in the White House. March 30th, here he is talking to Jim Acosta from CNN.
What do you say to Americans who are upset with you over the way you downplayed this crisis over the last couple of months? We have it very much under control in this country. The coronavirus is very much under control in the USA. It's going to disappear. It's like a miracle. It will disappear. March 4th, we have a very small number of people in this country infected. March 10th, we're prepared. We're doing a great job with it. It will go away. Just stay calm. It will go away. What do you say to Americans who believe that you got this wrong?
And I do want them to stay calm. And we are doing a great job. If you look at those individual statements, they're all true. Stay calm. It will go away. You know it is going away. And
now, I'm not entirely sure at this point if anybody's paying any attention to the president's public remarks in the Rose Garden or the White House with Jim Acosta March 30th and what he said to Bob Woodward, because, you know, after all, this sounds, oh, it's on tape, like it's a secret recording. These were all on the record recorded calls that the president was aware of. And finally, again, I'll wrap this up. And then I want to show you an example of real panic attempts by an American media company that should be ashamed of itself. Amy Jacobson over at AM 560, The Answer in Chicago, caught this as well. I was watching ABC World News tonight. I don't know why I do it. I don't know. I guess I feel like I better be watching the mainstream media so I can be fully and well-versed on what we're up against, because we're up against a lot. And what David Muir and ABC World News Tonight did last night in politicizing and scaring people over the tragic death of a 28-year-old teacher in South Carolina is as dreadful and appalling as anything you'll see on the American media. I'll show you that one. And we'll share that with you here in just a moment. But before we get to that, one more little montage. I'm going to give you a roster. This is a who's who of Democrat faces. This is Biden. This is Cuomo. This is Pelosi. This is de Blasio. This is Anderson Cooper. So as all of these people are condemning President Trump because he admitted to Bob Woodward he didn't want people and doesn't want people to panic over coronavirus and further wreck our country, here's what they were saying.
Precaution is always the best practice. Preparedness is always the best practice, and that's what we do here in New York. At the same time, we have to keep this in perspective. There is no reason to panic.
Come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
It's not a time to panic about coronavirus, but coronavirus is a serious public health challenge. We don't even think it's going to be as bad as it was in other countries.
Half of the people in America do not get a flu shot, and the flu right now is far deadlier. So if you're freaked out at all about the coronavirus, you should be more concerned about the flu.
For the vast majority of New Yorkers, life is going on pretty normally right now, and we want to encourage that.
Okay, that's it. Game, set, match. I mean, it's not a bombshell. It's not a scandal. Only people who hate Trump hope it will be the latest controversy that brings him down. Meanwhile, the polls are still tightening. Even after the Atlantic bombshell last week, his poll numbers went up. I'm not kidding. Amy Jacobson in Chicago on Twitter called what ABC News did last night regarding the death of a 28-year-old teacher in South Carolina irresponsible reporting. I think it's way worse than that. It's downright corruption. I believe it's evil. You want to truly talk about trying to scare people? Get ready for what ABC World News Tonight did regarding the death of a teacher named Demetria Bannister of Windsor Elementary School in Columbia, South Carolina. I've got the proof for you and the details coming up. In the meantime, feel free to join us, 800-655-MIKE, as we welcome you into a Thursday, September 10th episode of The Mike Gallagher Show in the ReliefFactor.com studios, 800-655-6453. Call, leave a voicemail, text, but for goodness sakes, join us here on The Mike Gallagher Show.